Hey student, watch this video and learn how native speakers use present perfect and superlative in English. Yes, that's what you're going to learn in a very simple and practical lesson. And at the end, I have a simple exercise for you. If you don't know me very well, hi there, I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because every week there are different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Help the channel by liking and sharing this video. But here we go. Superlative, okay? Present perfect. Can I combine both? Yes. And I'm going to show you how. So one disclaimer. I have different lessons here on my channel where I go into the details of explaining present perfect, superlative. Here, I'm going to just bring a quick review. It's not the focus of the lesson. I just want to show you how to combine both in a very specific sentence that native speakers use a lot in movies, conversations, podcasts. So stay with me until the end, okay? Now, here on my channel, guys, I focus on specific students. I teach 100% in English. My goal is to help pre-intermediate and intermediate students to go from stuck to speaking in 6 months. Because when you follow the right method, you unlock your fluency. And one important thing that I always tell my students, my followers, is that to learn a lesson, I must use it. And that includes grammar. That's basically what I do with my babies. I call my students BSA, baby sardines in the area, babies. That's what I teach my students from my academy. They have to use the grammar they study. And how do they do it? Well, they have the grammar lessons on the platform and then they create examples. They post examples to me so that I can give them some feedback. And when I give the feedback, a very important point I mention here for my students is connect the examples with your life. And this is the way, an efficient way for you to use the grammar. You can still do grammar exercises, but try to create some examples that will describe something important that has happened to you, okay? Now, quick review, superlative, okay? We are going to use the most. You need the most to describe something. And next to the most, you will have an adjective, a long adjective. And you also have the short version, which is the adjective, but you will change the adjective a little. You will add est or iest to the word, to the adjective. It depends on the adjective. In some adjectives, you even double the last consonant, but I have this explained in details in other videos. So what is the purpose of the superlative? Well, we have to go back to comparatives. More than. When I use a comparative, I am comparing two things, two people, two groups of things. It's more limited. Apple, in my opinion, is better than Samsung. But I know some people prefer Samsung. Oh, Samsung is better than Apple. No problems. It's your personal decision. So here I'm comparing two. But what happens with the most? I am comparing one. I am describing one as superior in that group. Okay? So look at the example again. iPhone is the best brand in the market. I'm not comparing with Samsung anymore. I'm considering all the phone brands in the market and Apple is superior, at a superior level. That's the idea of superlative. Now, I don't agree that iPhone is the best, okay? Apple is the best. I don't agree. There are many flaws with Apple. But this is the idea, okay? Oh, when I use more than, I compare two things, 3, 4 groups. But when I use the most, I put the thing I am describing at a superior level compared to everybody else or to everything else. Here's an example. Linda is the most intelligent girl I know. So here, what's the explanation? I know many girls. You know, I have many friends, many girlfriends. But Linda is the most intelligent. So out of all the girls I know, Linda is the most intelligent. So that's the idea of superlative. The thing or the person or the situation or the product you are describing is superior in that group. So here I'm talking about girls. I talked about Apple. I can talk about restaurants. Oh, this restaurant is the most expensive restaurant in São Paulo. So out of all the thousands and thousands of restaurants in São Paulo, this is the most expensive. Not nice. What's the most expensive restaurant in your city? Do you know? What's the name of the most expensive restaurant in your city? I want to know. Tell me in the comments. Participate. But here we go. Now, quick, a few more explanations. As I said, I can also use the most with short adjectives, but then I eliminate most. So here, Linda is the smartest girl I know. So in the first example, I said Linda is the most intelligent. Now I'm saying Linda is the smartest. Smart is a synonym of intelligent, but I cannot say the most smart. I say the smartest. Okay, so I add est to the adjective. So that's a difference. So here, happy, the happiest. Good, bad, and far are irregular situations. Okay? So good, the best, bad, the worst, far, the farthest. Okay? So that's these are some exceptions. So this is a quick review of superlatives. Now, present perfect, quick review again. I have a complete playlist of present perfect here with many explanations. Here's just a review so that I can teach you the structure that I want to focus on. But it's important to have a quick review, okay? So you're going to use present perfect to describe something that happened in the past that may have an impact on the present or future. And here, keep in mind that when using present perfect, you never, ever use a finished expression of time, a fixed expression of time that indicates conclusion, like yesterday, na 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 na, far away. No, sorry, no, stop. So last week, last month, 2 years ago, no, okay? It's open. You can use some expressions, but these expressions will indicate that it's time, but it's open. I don't know if it's finished or not, okay? Now, Susie has never lived abroad. So see, I don't mention any tense here, any expression of time, excuse me. So she has never lived abroad. And I teach here on my channel videos with present perfect plus never. So considering all her life in the past until now, probably in the future, I don't know, the future may change, it's possible, but she has never had this experience. Not just today in the present, but in the past. This never happened to her. So I use present perfect. And to use present perfect, I need have or has plus past participle. What is past participle? It's the third verb, the third column of the verbs. So do in the past is did, and the participle done. Buy in the past is bought, and the participle bought. Sing in the past is sang, in the participle sung. Okay? Regular verbs stay the same. Need, needed, needed. So with regular verbs, you repeat the past. With irregular verbs, you change. Another example, my friend has never tried Jamaican food. I wanted to use never. I don't know why I put the two examples with never, but that's pretty much the idea, okay? Now, before I get straight to the explanation of the sentence, we already had the review. Make sure to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and if you're interested, if you need it, I have the perfect study plan cycle that will help you organize your English study routine. If you don't know how to study, if you're feeling a little lost, teacher, what do? You get my study plan cycle, and my listening mastery workshop, another excellent product that will help you improve your listening comprehension. Now, the next one, let's go. Present perfect and superlative together. Here's where it gets interesting. We can combine present perfect and superlative to talk about both experiences and unfinished actions, okay? Now, I like to link. This is where students link and they get a little confused. So here, let's ask the question. Let's show you. I'm going to show you the question. What is the most beautiful country you have visited? So, most beautiful country you have visited. Oh, the most beautiful country I have visited is Greece. Or Greece is the most beautiful country I have visited. So the most beautiful country I have visited is Greece. Or Greece is the most beautiful country I have visited. So this is one possible combination, okay? You will use the sentence with superlative and the sentence with present perfect to describe a specific experience. It's the same idea of the superlative. That's why I had to reveal at the beginning. Oh, the most exotic food you have ever eaten. Oh, I can't use ever, it's next. Tell me about the most exotic food you have eaten. The most exotic food I have eaten. That would have to be shark meat. Yes, that's the most exotic food I have eaten. Shark meat. Was it good? I think so. It was nice. It tasted good, Now, that here, as you can see on the screen, is optional. I don't need to use that. Greece is the most beautiful country that I have visited. You don't need. It's optional. Optional. Here, guys, I want to get your attention to something that you want to mention, something you have ever tried in your life that was the most beautiful, okay? And here, why do I use present perfect? Maybe you would try it again. You will not focus. See, there's no finished expression of time. Like, hey, oh, yesterday. No, you don't use this with yesterday, last week. Maybe you will do it again. Maybe there's something more to the story. Maybe it's an unfinished action, okay? Oh, Greece is the most beautiful country I have ever seen, that I have visited. Maybe in 2 years I'll go to Indonesia and I'll be like, no, wait a second. The most beautiful country I have visited is Indonesia. Okay, I don't know Indonesia. I'm just saying that this is unfinished because I can change. The situation may change. Okay? Now, let's take a look at another thing. Now, here's where I want to get your attention to, because when we teach present perfect to students, we often say that we don't use ever in affirmative sentences. We use in questions. Oh, have you ever lived abroad? No, teacher, never. So when I use ever in questions, I want to know if you did that experience, considering all your life until today, did you have that experience? So have you ever lived abroad? So thinking of since you were a little baby, until now, many years later, you had that experience or not? No, never. Teacher, I have never danced samba. I have never driven a Ferrari. Yeah, me neither. I haven't. I have never driven a Ferrari. Hopefully one day I want to drive a Ferrari one day. So that's the idea with ever, but you learn in present perfect that you use in questions ever, and then in the answer never if you never did something. So I have never ridden a horse. Well, I rode a horse once. A terrible experience. I don't want to do it again. Now, here's where we can add the word ever to the mix in affirmative sentences. Yes. So not only in questions anymore, but in this combo, when I am using superlative and present perfect, I can use ever. And that's the thing that native speakers do a lot, okay? Here's the example. It's just an example, okay? Because I don't agree with my example. There are so many nice shows. But The Good Place is the funniest show I have ever watched. Ah, my gosh. So what am I saying here? Considering all the shows I watched, The Good Place is the funniest. Funny is short. So I remove most and I only leave the, and then I add IEST and I remove the letter Y from funny. The Good Place is the funniest show I have ever watched. Teacher, but can I say this without ever? Yes. What's the difference? The emphasis. When you use ever, you're just being more intense. Your phrase is stronger. You really mean it when you say it. Ah, The Good Place is the funniest show I have ever seen in my life. Ever watched, actually. So that's the idea. Now I have one that this is true for me. The other example, Coldplay is the best band I have ever seen live. Live. I went to their concert in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure. And honestly, guys, Coldplay is the best band I have ever seen live. Live, okay? Live performance. Could I only remove ever and just leave that I have seen? Yes, it's possible. But this is the thing about English fluency and communication. And I'm teaching you what native speakers like to use naturally. They naturally use this. We are the ones that have to learn all the rules. But because they spent all their childhood, all their adolescence, all their life listening to this, they naturally know when to emphasize something more. Just like we in our language, we know when to emphasize more something. So that's what I'm getting your attention to in this lesson. Of course, you can use just one sentence with present perfect, another sentence with superlative, but native speakers combine both structures. So I strongly recommend you review present perfect, you review superlative, get all the explanations in other videos of mine, and then put them together. I'm showing you, I showed you the examples, okay? Oh, pizza is the most delicious junk food I have ever tried. Teacher, pizza is not junk food. I don't know. Sorry, Italian people, but I'm not sure. I think it's junk food, okay? Not healthy. Not healthy at all. And you can get fat. Anyway. So this is the idea. Ever will only give this boost. And where do I put ever? Next to have or has. Okay? So see, The Good Place is the funniest show I have ever watched. So I have ever watched. Coldplay is the best band I have ever seen. Oh, this is the biggest house I have ever seen or lived in. So considering this is the biggest apartment, okay, this is the noisiest place I have ever lived. This is true for me. This apartment is the noisiest place this is the noisiest place I have ever lived in. This place is so noisy, you have no idea. You know, it's awful. I hate it. No, I like this place. No, it's true. I like this place. I like this place. I just don't like the noise. It's a very comfortable apartment. It's good. I just don't like the noise, okay? That bothers me. Now, people who use a lesson learn it. To learn a lesson, I must use it. You gotta use what you study. So I have a question for you. What is the best country or place you have ever visited? Be intentional. Teacher, the best country I have ever visited is the United States. Why? Okay, and then explain, oh, teacher, because it's so different from my culture. Oh, I saw so many beautiful things from movies. Oh, that place is magical. Your explanation. Why this country is the best country you have ever visited? There's gotta be an explanation. This is the part you use your critical thinking. So use it well. Post in the comments, and if possible, share it with your friends. Other than that, my friends, get your study plan today or the listening mastery workshop. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.